Support for Headline Humboldt is made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Coming up next on Headline Humboldt, international adventurers are increasingly coming to Humboldt County and elsewhere in the region to climb the ancient redwoods and farm for likes on social media. Also, a new presidential candidate, an increasingly rogue Supreme Court, and a looming election that seems like it could decide everything. Worried? You should be. And we'll talk with local attorney and political analyst Eric Kirk about this confluence of crises. Coming up now on Headline Humboldt. From the top of Humboldt Hill, this is Headline Humboldt. I'm James Falk. Thanks for joining us. Sometimes your kids will surprise you. On a drive this past week to pick up my daughter from Lost Coast Camp near Petrolia, her sister and I had some time in our little black compact car to chat as we rattled along the battered county roads. She'll be entering her senior year of high school in the fall, and while her mother and I have done our best to limit the impact social media and such has had on her, it has had an effect. It's changed everything about our lives, so of course it's had an impact. And unfortunately, I see that impact continuing with her little sister and even beyond to my eventual grandchildren. I've long been a bit pessimistic about the state of digital America, especially after the 2016 election, when it was instrumental in some events that I think perfectly encapsulate the dangers of social media. Everything becomes a joke, a meme, or a catastrophe. Comments made in haste can ruin relationships, and arguments seem to blossom everywhere, pushing folks into smaller and smaller subgroups where they hear only what they want to hear from people they'll always agree with. That's for adults. For kids, social media can be absolute poison. It encourages envy, rage, self-harm, low self-esteem, and the celebration of our baser instincts. That's just for starters. It also keeps kids glued to their screens and therefore separated from the world, both natural and social. While dehumanizing folks you disagree with, it can be used to manipulate minds, seed conflict, glorify tribalism, and ruin lives. I've been so jaded by what I've seen these past few years that I forgot our kids aren't just the blind inheritors of what we offer them. Every generation is shocked by the way our kids rebel. Yet rebel they will, and with purpose. The radical 1960s, for example, would never have happened without the social constraints of the 1950s. My daughter pointed out to me during this long drive that many of her friends, more and more, are coming to these same conclusions. They may use social media, but they understand the impact it's having and are taking action in their own lives to limit that impact and find routes to genuine mental health. I'm not trying to minimize the dangers of social media by saying the kids will figure it out, but these kids are themselves aware of what's happening with their peers, with society, and they will someday come into political power themselves. They'll adopt the good, try to avoid the bad, and work to find a balanced way forward. This is what has always happened when humanity stumbles into disorienting change. The kids will be all right. But will there be a country waiting for them? Tonight we interview political analyst and local attorney Eric Kirk about the state of play in American politics and how to answer that very question. But first, the news. An independent analysis of police actions during the recent spate of Gaza war protests at Cal Poly Humboldt has been released, and recommendations have been made for how to more effectively proceed in the future. The Humboldt County District Attorney's Office, meanwhile, decided this past week to forego filing charges for the majority of those arrested. The review was performed by OIR Group, a police auditing agency out of Long Beach, California, that serves the Eureka Police Department, who engaged this particular review. Specifically, the group found that the violent confrontation between police and protesters on April 22nd revealed of a lack of effective planning and poor command. Quote, there was no clear unified incident command and no contingency planning in place if the circumstances changed. For example, how to respond if the crowd size overwhelmed law enforcement's capacity or protesters became violent, the report notes. Those in command did not account for field operation basics, such as covering all entrances to Siemens Hall, avoiding being surrounded, and providing a safe and clear path of movement for those who left voluntarily, as well as arrestees, unquote. As many have already claimed, the auditors found that the videotaped violence that went viral should never have happened. Quote, there was no immediate threat beyond vandalism of university property at the time officers staged in the foyer, and no urgent need for law enforcement intervention, the report states. It also makes a series of recommendations for how Eureka Police Department can achieve better outcomes in the future, which can be read by following the link in our YouTube description. The lead agency for the protest response, the University Police Department, has not publicly commissioned a review of events. While criticizing that leadership, the report commends Eureka Police for making the best of a bad situation. The district attorney's office, meanwhile, has passed its own judgment on those events by refusing to prosecute many of the protesters. According to the Lost Coast Outpost, the office received 39 referrals for prosecution, but rejected 27 of those. The other 12 remain possibilities, but even they were referred back to UPD for more investigation and documentation. The news website sfgate.com released a story this week about a new trend among social media sites and personalities, traveling vast distances to illegally climb redwood trees and videotape their misadventures. The centerpiece of the story is about a group called the Arborist from the United Kingdom who traveled to the North Coast in May of 2022 to climb Hyperion, what is believed to be the world's tallest tree. Once they'd scaled that massive tree, they had a cup of tea and apparently bumped fists, calling themselves legends. According to the SFGate story, the group planned this trip for 11 months, flew out, and made the climbs without permits or authorization of any kind. Their climb occurred during the breeding season of the heavily endangered marbled murrelet, which nests in those canopies. Such an ecosystem is absolutely unique and pristine and can only be fouled by frat party fist bumps and tea parties. At one point, they were caught in the act of climbing 6 redwoods in Jedediah Smith Redwoods State Park, where they strung up a zip line and a rope swing over a riverbed. These folks, according to the story, are members of a subculture of tree maintenance workers, also known as arborists, who in recent years have increasingly utilized their equipment and skills for unauthorized climbs. It's a growing problem, parks officials told the SFGate. Here is an excerpt from the hour-long film they produced to mark the occasion.
2020 was a pretty mad year. It affected and changed everyone in some way or another. For me, though, I decided to do something different. I wanted to connect the world of art by media and content creation.
Health service in the world could possibly cope.
People been locked up in their homes since the end of March.
Armed with a camera and a lens, the Canopy Climbing Collective was born. With a thirst for adventure and a passion for climbing, we're about to embark on our biggest adventure yet. This is Chasing Adventure, the Arborist. If you're an arborist watching this, adventure is yours to have. Embrace it. Get the best crew you can. Take time out of work. The trees of today may not be here tomorrow.
Thousands of acres in eastern Humboldt County continued to burn as part of the 2024 Hill Fire, even as firefighters seem to be gaining the upper hand. The Hill Fire began on July 16th when a series of lightning strikes ignited the forests in the Mosquito Creek drainage. More than 2,000 fire personnel were directed to the scene initially, including 12 helicopters, 134 engines, and 61 separate crews. The number of firefighters is now close to 500. The fire is now at 7,224 acres and is 73% contained. 5 firefighters have been injured, but no civilian injuries have been reported. According to the California Department of Forestry's incident update, quote, all hotspots are well interior and the fire continues to remain within containment lines. The improved weather conditions will remain, helping mop-up efforts as crews continue to patrol the fire perimeter. For more information on evacuations, visit humboldtsheriff.org/emergency. We'll be right back after this short break.
I'm David Gordon, Executive Director of Keat TV. And I want to tell you about the free PBS app. And it's not like free for 30 days or a 3-month trial. It's free for as long as you'd like to use it. Watch episodes of PBS shows that have premiered on TV recently, as well as Keat's live broadcast, right in the app, no antenna required. Shows like Frontline, PBS NewsHour, and Washington Week are always free. But you can get even more out of the PBS app by becoming a sustaining member of Keat. $5, $10, $20 a month. Any of those options will qualify you for our most popular member benefit, PBS Passport. Drama, science, nature, there's so much to watch with Passport. But what really matters is your donation now supports the PBS programs that you watch. Thank you.
Joining us now in studio is political analyst and local attorney Eric Kirk, who's become kind of a regular on this show. Thanks for joining us, Eric.
Thank you for inviting me.
Obviously, I wanted to have you on this week because there's been so much happening on so many fronts politically, and it feels like there's no solid ground to stand upon. So let's talk a little bit about first off, the big ticket item, of course, was the Kamala Harris ascendancy. My question to you first off is, what do you think what happened with Joe Biden deciding to let Harris take over the ticket? Does that change your opinion of Biden, or how does that affect his legacy?
I mean, I've actually have a positive opinion in general. I think he did a lot better as president than he's given credit for.
Yeah, I think history will probably show that, too.
I believe that as well. But it's definitely for him to step down, it was a really hard thing for him to do. A lot of people were talking to him about it, and he finally did it, putting himself before the country.
Yeah.
And that's a contrast.
Yes.
A question as to whether certain other candidates would do the same.
Yeah, and it really does a kind of a 180 with the race, because now it's not two old guys, it's one old guy, and there's been a consistent drumbeat about Biden being too old. Well, now Trump is only a couple of years younger, and he's also seems to be in some ways losing his edge. So it only underlines that argument, right?
It does. He's the one that made it an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. What do you think of Kamala's chances? There was a lot of noise about she's unpopular, she hasn't been an effective campaigner since she's been the vice president. That's always a situation with vice presidents, though, because they're in that beta role, and that makes it hard for them to really, shine, because they're not supposed to shine. But what do you think of her chances?
Well, I think they're really good, but I do think that his base is going to turn out. I mean, the shooting, for one thing, has a lot of them feeling like he's favored by God. I mean, literally, they're saying this, stuff with and the rest. So they are going to turn out, but they do. Now she has enthusiasm behind her, and people who are involved in the campaign and outside of it say this reminds them of 2008 Obama campaign, just the excitement around it.
Yeah, and there seems to be the word hope gets thrown around a lot, where now I kind of feel like I'm engaged, and from what I understand, the young vote is invigorated, so hopefully that they only show up occasionally, and it takes someone like an Obama typically to motivate them. So do you think that might work
2 weeks ago, it felt like a death march.
Yeah.
We were just waiting for November to happen. It was going to be a catastrophe.
Yeah.
What a difference a few days makes. I mean, she raised, $100 million in like 24 hours?
Yeah, the largest ever raised by any presidential candidate ever.
And in small donations almost entirely, like almost 900,000 people, about 600,000 of them had never donated before.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how all that happens. One thing I appreciate about this development is that Kamala Harris gets appointed after Trump's already strategically planned his rollout. They've had the convention, and he's picked J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Now, given Kamala and who she is, Vance seems like a bad choice, and it's a kind of fish that only seems to get stinkier more as time goes on. What do you think about Vance's candidacy generally, but then also how it compares now that we have Kamala as the main Democratic candidate?
He obviously wasn't vetted. I mean, they had to anticipate that Simone Biles was going to win the gold medal possibly or do well, and that his comments about her 3 years ago were going to come out, the cat lady comment, everything else. It's one thing after another, even some sordid stuff that I don't even think is worth discussion. But he's added nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And one thing I like about Kamala's candidacy compared to the Trump, noise machine and all that, is that she is a woman, and she's a strong woman, and she's not shy about it. And I think that is a good contrast to this very old man and this guy who makes comments about cat women and everything else. I think it's, and given the discussion on choice and everything else, it's a very good contrast to be drawing right now.
And they were caught flat-footed. I mean, they don't know how to attack her. They don't have a strategy at this point, which is weird, using that word, from Governor Walz. But it's weird that they didn't have a plan. I mean, they had to know it was at least a possibility, but they seem to be completely without a plan of attack. I mean, DEI hire, her laugh. They're attacking her over her laugh. There was even a Republican guy on YouTube saying, "What are they trying to make me like her?" Yeah, it's an over-the-top laugh, but it's a laugh. So what? And it was just
exactly.
they don't know how to attack her. She's also much better than she was in 2020. She's learned something because she is presenting herself well in every context. I mean, she just, she's charismatic. She had that rally on Tuesday in Atlanta, 10,000 people, but they had to turn people away.
Yeah, and she was on fire.
Absolutely, and her supporters too. Yeah. I mean, there just is no downside yet. They haven't found any real dirt other than the old stuff. She slept with Willie Brown. I almost said Jerry Brown. Sorry, and all of this. But what they have. Okay, you have a woman who enjoys sex. That used to be an attack thing. No, it's not. You have a woman who was a prosecutor. They're trying to say she's weak on crime and too tough on crime.
Exactly
at the same
right.
time.
They're trying to drive this wedge in the Democratic base by saying back in the 90s she was really tough on drug offenders.
That's right.
But to a certain segment of the population, that's a bonus, not a drawback. And that was a long time ago. People evolve.
And a prosecutor has to follow the law.
Yeah.
It's the laws on the books. And by the way, of those 1,600 people she prosecuted, about 40 did any time in jail.
Wow, that's an interesting point to mention and remind people of. Do you have any idea how it's going to work in terms of the talent trust of the campaign? Is she basically brought on Biden's folks, or has she had to come up with her own?
Both. She said that she wasn't going to cut anybody out because she wanted the continuity, but she was bringing in a few people that she felt would be particularly helpful. So it's a bigger team. So far, nobody had been fired.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the DJT, Donald Trump. He's busy campaigning. And he had a particularly strange moment with the Association of Black Journalists, where he was, as typical, offensive, but it was a whole new level of offensive. And I'm not sure what the point there was, except for maybe if he was trying to attract that, I don't want to say sort of the conservative nationalist voter that had been his sort of biggest fans by going there and insulting these folks. That's the only thing I could think is a political reason for it.
They've been making a play for black men.
Yeah.
They figure if they can get 20% of black men to vote for him or not vote for Harris, that's enough to cut in that they can win, because the Democrats generally need at least 80 to 90% of the black vote to win. That's their big demographic.
Yeah.
And I think he just started to believe his own hype that these people love
making inroads and stuff.
Yeah. And and then he got there, and then he got flustered, and then started saying things in really weird ways.
Yeah.
And I mean, Rachel Scott's my new hero.
She handled that professionally and
really well.
Yeah. And he can be a real challenge in that. And that's why I think part of the reason I'm hoping that they work out the debate kinks, because I'd like to see Kamala Harris get a chance to really grill Donald Trump in a debate.
And I thought that he was actually signaling he was going to pull out, because he said, "What? You're an ABC reporter? They're fake news." ABC is, of course, the network that's supposed to do the debate. But it looks like he's confirmed that he will do it. He wants to do it in Ohio. In Pennsylvania. Yeah. And so, but we'll see. We'll see if he actually shows up. It'll probably have to do with where the polls are. But he's sinking in the polls. There are 4 new polls came out today that are national that had her ahead. 3 of them within the margin of error. So statistical ties, but a complete turnaround from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. What do you think about her in the battleground states? Is she as competitive or more so than Joe at this point?
She's picking up. She's doing well. She's got to really figure out how she's going to strategize for the Rust Belt states, because you can win without Arizona, you can win without Georgia or North Carolina or even Nevada, but they can't win without Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And that's why, I think her VP choice might be tailored towards that.
That was my next question. I mean, she has several choices in front of her. Some of them are very strong. Mark Kelly from Arizona, Andy Beshear from Kentucky, Shapiro from Pennsylvania, and then you mentioned a name I hadn't really heard before from Minnesota.
Tim Walz. Google him. I mean, he's been on fire all over. Wasn't known nationally until now, but he's the one who came up with the weird framing. Now that they're using the whole way, and he is just absolutely brilliant. He has his economic policies are basically to the left of Bernie Sanders, but he doesn't come across like a leftist. He comes across like got that kind of white guy, Midwestern moderate vibe, and he is absolutely brilliant oratician. I think he would be the best choice, even though Minnesota isn't a swing state anymore. It was a couple weeks ago. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
But he is good for the Midwest. He's got labor union connections. Mark Kelly actually has a little bit of problem with it, but I also think the Democrats have to be real careful because it's going to be 50-50 Senate, and he leaves. They've got to have a special election to replace him. Shapiro's got some good things, but progressives already kind of sounded the alarm about him.
He seems pretty smooth to me too.
He's great. He's he sounds like Obama actually. But Israel, he's got some positions on that may not be consistent with some of the Democratic constituency, and also school vouchers.
Yeah.
So those are things. But on the other hand, he all but guarantees Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is kind of considered the bellwether state. It's the largest of the three of that, and probably neither side can really win without Pennsylvania. It'd be really hard.
And Bashir has been busy playing the attack dog role already. I don't know whether that's going to help him or not, but I don't see us winning. Democrats winning Kentucky.
Yeah, but it's not just about the state they're in; it's who they appeal to.
Yeah.
If he can win in Kentucky, it might help. And with some of the more conservative voters in North Carolina, they know he presents well enough to win in Kentucky, which is a miracle for a Democrat.
Yes,
and he's not even particularly conservative.
Yeah.
He's got some progressive politics as well, and he was the second person that the progressives are saying, Bashir or Waltz. That's their choices.
Yeah.
Now that Whitmer is pulled out and Cooper pulled out.
Now, one of the reasons I also wanted to have you on the show today is to talk about the Supreme Court. There's been some proposals made by President Joe Biden for term limits.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get your sense of how likely that is and what the process would be to actually see those changes take place.
Well, of course, Mitch McConnell said it's dead on arrival. They're not going to do anything right now. Yeah. But they have to think of it in a long term and start making proposals as to a gradual rollout, and that they're not going to eliminate the longest running Supreme Court justices right away, and no single president should be appointing that many more justices if they expand the circuits is another proposal.
Because according to the proposal, if it were to just go into effect, they'd lose 3 conservative justices off the top.
That's right.
And whoever the president is would name 3.
Yeah, that's right.
And that would be just too problematic politically. Right?
So it has to be spread out and it done in a way that gives both parties at least a chance of being able to appoint the replacements. And so I think it's possible, but right now, not during the election season, definitely. Maybe after the election in November, there'll be more discussion about it.
Is there a chance that conservatives may grow to like this proposal in the future?
Both things are a double-edged sword. Yeah, they've got the majority right now, but they're not going to have the majority for 18 years. They may, but forever. I mean, it's just somebody's going to die before those things run off. I mean, Thomas and Alito, I don't think they're going to be around in 18 years, right? So if they were to start that now, maybe, I don't know. They could be.
They could be. We've had older justices.
That's right, but it's. But I think that it's going to have to be presented in a way that's not just part of a campaign thing. Now Biden is no longer campaigning, so he now has the luxury to really push through this. And if he has the right types of conversations, we could come up with some type of reform for the long term.
Well, and he has been able throughout his presidency to get things done that seemed like they would have been impossible in any other person or any other period by any other person. So maybe he can pull
probably the most underrated president in history, in my opinion.
Yeah, because the experience he has, the relationships he's built over the years, I think that allows him to enter into conversations that otherwise would just get him booted. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the court also in terms of it's gone so far to the right. There's been so many things going on with that. One of the proposals has been for there to be a ethics code.
Right.
And that is a thing that the Supreme Court seems to have shown no interest in, although the Judiciary Committee in the Senate has been making noise to try and get that done. But then Amy Coney Barrett came out recently and said that I would be in support of that, which was shocking to me, but maybe, do you think that could be some sort of a...
It should be that, people come up with an idea and that the Supreme Court justices themselves agree on what the ethics code is, just to have one. Roberts is just taking the strict line that this is an interference for Congress to even be talking about it. Didn't seem to mind when certain members of Congress were showing up at a trial, in New York and saying that this thing was a sham. That's interference, quite frankly. But to even have a conversation about it, even in private, his stance has been that this is interference. Again, it's a discussion, and they should be having it. With her saying that, maybe things will they'll lighten up a little bit after the election.
And to be truthful, I mean, over the course of the history of the Supreme Court, Congress has often regulated and done things and changed the way things are organized because that's their prerogative per the Constitution, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And so, I mean, to say otherwise is blatantly political, which again sort of just tarnishes what the court is supposed to be and what Roberts says he's in favor of. Which brings me to probably maybe our last point here is the legacy of John Roberts. I mean, when he took office or took the oath as the Chief Justice, he came across as sort of a moderate figure who was going to try and toe the middle line. But as there have been more conservative justices appointed to the court, he seems to have abandoned that. Is that just because he doesn't have the votes to be moderate anymore, and so he has to play to his strength, or what do you think is going on?
Well, I mean, obviously, he has actually been part of 5-4 votes where he was in the 4, and so he is not, he can't swing it himself. Sometimes he gets help from Amy Coney Barrett, sometimes he gets help from Kavanaugh, who are a little bit less intense than Alito or Thomas. They certainly don't have January 6th flags on their homes, right? Those type of thing. And so they are, so that is the big deal here, is that, he's not, there is no middle at this point. I mean, so he does have to play it very carefully, and he's made some rulings that I wonder if he would have done that if he wasn't trying to sort of maintain an influence over the right wing of the two right wingers. But they go off on their own. There are a lot of 7-2 votes.
And they also, apparently, according to some articles I've read, Alito in particular has alienated some of his more conservative colleagues by virtue of the decisions he's been writing, and they often go what they perceive as too far. But I mean, I would point out with all of this that Roberts and all of the conservatives were on board with the presidential immunity decision.
That's right.
And it was that way right off the bat. Like they came into that knowing what they wanted to do, which I mean. And it's absolutely astounding, as just about any constitutional expert would say, that it is just absolutely astounding that they would say this. There's basically no limitations on a president when he's in power, as long as he, as they said, he could, if he goes and shoots somebody with a gun, that's illegal, but if he orders a hit, nothing he can do because it's an official act. I mean, it's ridiculous. Well, we're out of time. So thank you again for an amazing flash lightning round of politics.
Thank you.
That's it for this week. Remember that if you want to indulge your curiosity and listen to experts talk about the nature of things, how we fit, and what it all might mean, our podcast is just the place for you. Visit youtube.com/@neongalactic and hold on to your ontological hats. Stay tuned, stay informed.